Hello everybody, I am back. I'm bad. I'm back. I'm bad. I'm back. Listen, I'm back and I'm bad. It's just like that. Okay. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you just so happen to be stopping by or joining me for the very first time, my name is Donella and this is my little world of makeup right here. And if you haven't already guessed from the title of this video, I'm giving my first impression slash retest slash, I don't know if there's another slash, there's probably not. I don't know why I put another slash there. Of the newest release from the Fenty Beauty family. It's the Pro Filter Instant Retouch Concealers and the Pro Filter Instant Retouch Powders. Now, for those of you who might be living under a rock and you may not know this, but these concealers come in 50 shades, and Fenty also added some more shades to the foundation line as well. And according to what they say on their website, the foundations have their corresponding concealers. Like for instance, I'm the shade 430, so my concealer shade is 430. Now of course some persons like an even brighter highlight, so you know, you'd probably go up maybe a shade 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know, I guess it depends on how bright you like your highlight to be. I'm a more natural radiant person, so I like to follow instructions, you know. So I went and got my 430 concealer. I know there are some persons who also use concealers to contour with, so of course you can use one of those along the darker spectrum to contour with, but y'all already know what I contour with, you know. So I'm not going to change until I find something like really decent that can compare to, you know, my black opal foundation stick that I contour with. Now we are here talking about Fenty, no more about that. Did I just say that the foundations come in 50 shades? I think I did. And also the concealers and the instant retouch powders have 8 shades. Now I'm not gonna say, unlike most companies who usually just put out one universal translucent powder, I am so impressed and so fascinated and so surprised, I have to say, and actually appreciative of the fact that Rihanna came up with 8 powders, because you know everybody has a different undertone, everybody likes a different finish, everybody likes a different color when it comes to the highlight. So I am really glad that Rihanna actually got the whole thing, that you know not everybody likes that white powder on their face, you know. So I'm glad that Rihanna actually released 8 shades in this the instant retouch powder. The one thing I have to say is that, by the way, I bought the shade Banana. I have to say about this is that this looks really beige, even though you know I'm wearing it right now, and I'm going to show you guys a demonstration you know, somewhere along, if I can finish this intro, because I feel like I've been talking forever. I have to say that the beige powder actually reminds me of one of my translucent powders. I just can't figure out which one it is right now, but after using it, I have to say I'm sold on it, first of all. But I have to say that I'd probably go up and use maybe the shade Honey, which is a little bit more yellow. So if you guys want to see how I demonstrated and applied the Fenty Instant Retouch Concealer and the new Instant Retouch Powder, then please stay tuned. I didn't want to make this video too long-winded, so I've already primed with my Fenty primer, and I've already applied my Fenty Pro Filter Soft Matte Long Wear Foundation. I am the shade 430. Now this video is strictly about the newest addition to the Fenty family, and it's the concealers, which come in 50 shades, and the Pro Filter Instant Retouch Setting Powder, which comes in 8 translucent shades, which, you know, it kind of makes sense. I think Rihanna kind of gets it when it comes to complexion products. You know, not everybody is the same undertone, and not everybody has the same universal translucent powder. You know, everybody would require something different, you know, a different finish. Some people need a little bit more beige in their translucent powder. Some persons require a little bit more yellow. Some persons like a little bit more brown, red, you know. You have 8 translucent powders, so you can't get your, if you don't know your undertone, then take the shade finder test so you can discover your undertone, find your matching foundation and concealer, and then of course find your matching what is this called, instant retouch setting powder. All right, so let me just open this. It comes in, by the way, they both come, of course, in the Fenty package, the same black and white graffiti that I actually kind of like. I'm not gonna lie, I really like the whole graffiti. Oh, listen, this thing is, let me open from the bottom because I really don't know what's going on here. Okay, so this is how the Pro Filter Soft, what is it called? It's called a Pro Filter Instant Retouch Setting Powder, and I bought the shade Banana. I actually bought the shade Banana because I thought Honey might have been a little bit too yellow for me, but now that I'm looking at Banana, I think I actually might go back and repurchase Honey, because this is looking kind of a little bit on the beige side, and it's kind of reminding me of, which powder do I have that looks a little more beige? Let me see. I think it might be my Beauty Bakery powder. I'm not sure. It's somewhere behind here and all that. But I am absolutely loving the packaging. This is just, wait, hold on a second. There is actually a spear sifter in here with the same FB, Fenty Beauty initials. This is really cute. I love this. All right. You know what? Let's just jump straight into the demonstration. Too much talking. Let's jump straight into it. By the way, if I forgot to mention earlier, it's quite easy for you to find your shade in the Fenty concealers, because the foundations have the corresponding concealers. Like, for instance, I'm the shade 430, so I bought the shade 430 in the concealers. Of course, you can play up with concealers, you know, depending on how bright or how natural or how radiant you want your concealers or your highlight to look. Me, I'm more so of a natural, sometimes radiant person. So I actually bought the corresponding concealer because I'm like, look, I'm all about the natural, radiant look. So I'm not going to buy anything that's a shade up or maybe 2-3 shades up or something that's too dark. I'm going to buy the corresponding concealer because they say that's how it's supposed to work. And I actually went on one of Fenty's global artists page, Priscilla Uno, I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name, but her name is Priscilla, and she actually demonstrated how the concealers and the foundations are supposed to be worn along with the powders. And I'm like, look, you guys were the one who created this. You already trained your artists as to how these things are supposed to be applied, so I'm going to go with what Priscilla said, and I'm going to apply it how I saw Priscilla apply. She actually, by the way, I absolutely love this packaging. It's cute. I went on Priscilla's page and I saw that she actually applied the concealers in like stroke motion, like she applied it like this. And she went on to explain that because it's like a creamy consistency, it's a very creamy consistency concealer, you really want to just apply one side of your face first and then blend that out and then go to the other side of your face. I'm using my Black Opal beauty sponge to do that. And I'm just going to start by just basically spreading the concealer over the areas that I normally conceal. So let me just do that real quick. And the first thing I have to say, the first thing that I realized is that this baby is like super creamy, and it is absolutely easy to just blend across my face. Like, look at that. I didn't have any problem at all. The consistency of the formula, I have to say, it is really thick, and it's kind of reminding me of my Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer. Now, I know persons have been actually trying to compare it to something that they've used before, and because I've used the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer, and I know that it's thick and it's creamy and it really covers everything. This Fenty concealer is actually reminding me of that. So I'm going to do the other side real quick. I don't remember how much strokes I put on this side, so we're just gonna guess to make. Okay, and I'm just going to blend that out real quick. Wow. I am loving this concealer. It is so easy to blend, and I have to say it actually covers up. Now, if I'm not mistaken, from what I read on Fenty's site, this concealer is supposed to be creaseless and all that. I know there are a lot of companies that like to throw in that, you know, as I don't know if it's like a marketing technique or, but so far so good. I am actually really loving the finish of this, and it looks amazing. I actually feel like I could maybe apply maybe just a teensy it more. I don't know, I just feel like I need to apply this a little bit more in this area right here to cover up my pores, and then we're just gonna go in with the powder like right after. I'm not gonna lie, listen, I am absolutely loving this concealer. Oh, wow, y'all know I'm not really big on the whole full coverage thing. I actually think I want to put a little bit on my lids just because they're just super dark, and actually I'm just gonna apply so teensy bit on my lids, because they said this is supposed to conceal basically everything, all your problems, all your bad experiences, all those terrible men that have been in your life, you know. This concealer is supposed to solve all of that, so let's just see if it does that. I'm also going to apply a wee bit in the areas that I normally highlight, which are just right here. I don't go all the way down on my nose bridge. I usually stop right here, and then I just put this one big stroke right there on my chin area. I'm just going to blend that out real quick. So far so good, ladies, gents, everybody. I am absolutely loving this concealer. This concealer it's definitely full coverage. I could tell you that it is definitely full coverage. I've never actually seen a concealer that, well, besides the one that I told you about from Kevyn Aucoin, this just covers up everything like that. It really is instant retouch. Like, I know everybody's skin is different, so everybody's gonna have a different experience with the concealers and the powders, but so far so good. My experience, I am loving mine. I am in love with this. I'm in love. I am in love. Okay, it's time to set it all in with the instant retouch powder. I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I was talking about in terms of the beigeness. I need to turn my light down a little bit. In terms of the beigeness of this powder, I guess you can see it from here, and it kind of reminds me of my what is this, the Beauty Bakery yellow flower, which isn't really that yellow. Like, in terms of comparison, I can actually see that these two are kind of more on the beige side. I was expecting it to be more yellow like the Sacha Buttercup powder, but I think the yellowness was actually applied in the shade Honey for that particular powder. So I think I really believe that I'm actually going to purchase the shade Honey in the powders, because although I love the beigeness of this and I think it's going to work for my skin tone, there are times when I really like a little bit more yellow in terms of the powder that I use to set with my highlight, especially in times when I use like a concealer like this, for instance, that looks more like my skin tone. I love the natural radiant look, but there are times when I just feel like I need that pop of yellow. So banana is not doing that for me, but just looking at it, I'm just saying, I haven't applied it yet, so let me just dust some over in the cover because I do not want to make a mess. And I'm just going to take the same beauty blender from should I call it a beauty blender even though it's from Black Opal? A beauty sponge? I don't know. What do you think? I'm just going to dust off the excess, and I am going to press this baby into this powder right here. Now, when I went on Priscilla's Instagram page, I saw that she used one of Fenty's brushes that come with the newest collection, you know, with the powders and the concealers, etc. What I really want to do here is to test it out with, you know, just a regular sponge that's not from Fenty, or a brush that's not from Fenty. And because I don't own any Fenty brush, I'm just going to use the next best thing, which is my Sigma 4D HD brush. And I just want to see exactly how well the powder works in terms of setting it with a regular beauty sponge, and just also setting it with a brush. I just want to see which one actually works well, or if there's any difference at all. And yeah, let me just go in a little bit more because I think the sponge had a way more powder than this. Okay, so there's this side and then there's this side. I can definitely see, just looking in my mirror, I can definitely tell I put way too much powder on this side, so I'm gonna have to pack a little bit more on this side. So just looking at my face here on camera and in the mirror, I can really understand why Priscilla used a brush instead of a beauty sponge, because I feel like you have more control in terms of how much product is applied to your face. And I feel like I applied way too much over on this side with the beauty sponge, so I'm just going to have to blend out some of this real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, so I am back and I am wearing a full face of Fenty, you know, with the exception of the brow powder and lashes, etc., and the liner, etc. I'm pretty much wearing a full face of Fenty, and it has been on my face for approximately 3 hours. And I can tell you guys, you know, straight off the bat, for me, somebody like me who suffers from oily skin, and I've been wearing, you know, a primer, a foundation with the corresponding concealer and translucent powder, and I can barely see any sort of shine breaking through. Like after 3 hours of wear with me and this oily face, I can tell you straight off the bat, those products are definitely going into my favorites drawer. I don't know what, okay, stop the clapping. I don't know what Fenty put in these powders right here, but anything that basically eliminates my huge ass pores is something that I want to use for life. Fenty, I tell you what, you keep those pores and I'll keep this powder right here. I honestly feel like the concealer works really, really well with the instant retouch powder. They work really, really well together. For somebody like me who suffers from oily skin, and you know, I like a natural radiant, you know, I can't say dewy, I have to say radiant, because I have oily skin. You know, my natural oils already give me enough radiance. And you know, we who live down here in the Caribbean, I think Rihanna gets it when it comes to, you know, living in a tropical place, you know, and having to deal with the sun and all that. Now, I'm not saying there aren't other places around the world that have, you know, all year round sunshine, but what I'm saying, I'm speaking for the part of the world where I live. I think Rihanna really gets it in terms of, you know, having products that have longevity, you know, into products that are sweat proof, crease proof. I know there are some persons who say that, you know, they still see a bit of creasing. I haven't seen any creasing, and I've been wearing this for like 3 hours now, so definitely, I definitely have to give these products 2 thumbs up. And I am just waiting for Fenty to launch everything. Fenty lashes, Fenty liners, Fenty mascara, damn, Fenty wigs even. Like, give me everything, Fenty. Rihanna, thank you so much, because I honestly feel like you got it right with these products. Oh my god, I don't even know what else to say. All I can say is that I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them. All right, ladies and gents, so that is it for my first impression / wear test of the new Fenty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Concealer and the corresponding Instant Retouch powders. Remember, this is the shade Banana and this is the shade 430. The description box, you know, for those of you who may, you know, just want to look at things. Some persons like to listen to things, some persons like to read things for themselves, but you can pretty much get everything from Fenty in not only Sephora, you can get it directly from Fenty's website. I think Harvey Nichols also sells Fenty products as well, so you can get it from Harvey Nichols is actually a UK store, if I'm not mistaken. You guys, so thank you guys so much for bearing with me. Thank you guys so much for bearing with me, you know, because, you know, I had so many problems, you know, at the last leg of 2018. This Lucifer was really on my shoulders. He was trying to bring me down, but you know, with a little prayer and everything in between, you know, everything worked out. And I want to thank you guys so much for sticking with me. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on your way out, and also if you happen to have appreciated this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'll talk to you guys real soon on my next video. Bye.